you guys want to find out the 4 ways that I plan on taking my business to $20,000 a month this year, then be sure to stay tuned. Before we start this video, I just want to give you guys a little disclaimer. I want to let you guys know that everything in this video is meant for educational purposes, and I don't want you guys to come off, or I don't want to come off as though I'm bragging, or I don't want to belittle you guys' success, or make you guys feel bad at where you guys are at. I just want to be fully transparent, share where I'm at and where I plan to go from here. So that being said, let's get into it. As you guys know, each month I have goals for that exact month. So my goal for this month is to hit $6,000 in sales, but I do like to have longer term goals. So my first big goal for my FBA business is to take it to $20,000 per month exclusively selling books, or let's say 95% books. So anytime you have a large goal like that, I feel like it's in your best interest to break it down into little bite-sized chunks. That way it's not so overwhelming and it's a little more manageable. So that being said, I broke it down to the goal of hitting $20,000 per month in my FBA business to 4 key points. So let's get into it. But the first point is obvious to some, but I think it deserves still being in the 4 main points. So the first point is to make your business more efficient. So what do I mean by that? Well, there's tons of different little hacks you can add to your business to make things more streamlined and more efficient. And while each little thing that you add to your business might seem small, if something can save you 4 minutes and that compounds over 4 minutes per each day for a month, and you can add other little hacks like this, it really adds up, and it adds up really, really fast. And so the most critical thing in any business and in life in general is your time. So if you can have these little bite-sized ways to make free up more time in your business, it's going to pay dividends. Let me give you guys an example of something that I did for a long time, and something that you guys might still be doing, and hopefully you guys could implement this into your business. So when I first got into this business, the beginning of January, when I first opened up my FBA sellers account, I didn't ever use a listing program. So I was listing everything through Seller Central, and I was doing it manually. Now at the time, this seemed like a great idea. I had no other knowledge of any other options, and it just seemed like it just seemed like the obvious choice. So it worked for about a month and a half. Eventually I started to seek some other way of listing things because it just felt so damn slow. And so I ended up using a bunch of different products, but currently I use ScanLister. And so the difference between using ScanLister compared to using Amazon Seller Central cut my listing time down by 3/4 of what it usually took. So typically a shipment of 100 items, if I was doing it manually, would take me about 2 hours. With this new time-saving improvement, it takes me about 45 minutes to 35 minutes if I'm going really fast to list a whole entire batch of 100 books, which is a huge time savings. And so if you can figure out little ways to implement strategies like this in the beginning of your business, it's going to make it a lot less painful, and it's going to get you to the point that you want to be a lot faster. So number 2 goes hand in hand with what I just said about building systems. The more systems you build in your business, the easier it is to outsource those systems to other people. So if you can simplify the listing process, or you can simplify the shipping process, it's a lot easier to hand those ropes over to someone else. So it sets up the parameters for outsourcing pieces of your business, which can obviously free up a ton of time in your business. So this is something that I'm looking to do within the next 2 weeks to the next month, is to bring on at least one hired contractor to do all the listing and shipping for me. And as I scale from there, I'll need to bring on more people to handle the volume of my business. But for the time being, hiring one person is something that's going to be huge to my business. And because I've already set up these time-saving systems, it's going to be a lot more efficient for that person. And it's also going to be a lot easier for them to understand and become engaged in my business. So number 3, the third point that I'm adding to take me to $20,000 per month is to find more sources. And while that sounds really, really mundane and obvious, I'm looking for sources that aren't so obvious. So we all know where you can buy books. It doesn't really need to be said, but there's tons of places to get used books out there. But there's also a lot of places which people don't look. A lot of people just dig on the surface, they never go below the surface. It so happens that below the surface is where the true gold is, and that's where you can really find the huge deals or the big scores, is in creating connections with other people or creating connections with other institutions, letting them know what you do, and figuring out how to get a constant stream of books. So I currently am a full-time student, and because I sell books, it seemed like an obvious connection to figure out how to get books from my college. And so all it took was talking to the manager of the library, letting her know what I do, and now I get a constant stream of school-related books every single week. And so that's been a huge point in my business. So if you can add more connections like that to your business and get a bigger stream of books coming to you, so you don't have to go out and look for as many books, it's really going to be beneficial to your business. And so a lot of people need to understand that the real gold is just right underneath the surface. And so most people just dig right there and they never get a little bit deeper. But if you just go a little bit deeper, or you just go out there and meet that extra person, or you let people know what you do, you'll be really, really surprised at the results. So number 4, this is probably the biggest point in this whole entire video, is the fourth thing that's going to get me to my goal of hitting $20,000 per month is time. What exactly do I mean by that? Well, as I send in more and more items, and as my business grows, my inventory also grows along with it. I don't sell everything immediately, so I also get this reserve of items that are sitting in my inventory. And the larger that reserve gets, the more and more sales you have coming in, as also combined with the stuff that you're sending out. So your snowball, as we like to call it, gets bigger and bigger. So as time goes on and more items get into my inventory, my snowball is going to get bigger and bigger, and it's just going to be a natural transition for me to hit that $20,000 per month. Remember, it can be really daunting to have these big goals and just to try to throw yourself into it, but if you give yourself a little time and you can step back and just see, well, if I send in X amount of books per week or X amount of items per week, and this many sell, I'm going to end up with, in a 6-month period, this much stuff in my inventory. And it's a lot easier to break it down like that when you can figure out that it's really just it's a process, and you just have to take the process one step at a time and enjoy the process, and it becomes a lot easier. So remember, the snowball effect is in your favor, and it's really, really beneficial. So give yourself some time to hit your goals. That's something that I constantly have to remind myself of, and it's been really helpful to remind myself that, hey, time is your friend, let it work for you. What is it going to exactly take? So we know the 4 points to hit $20,000, but what are the actual metrics? Well, $20,000 per month, I need to hit $666 in sales per day on average. Currently, that is a little further than where I am right now, but it's not too far off. I would say within the next 6 months, I should be at that $20,000 mark if everything stays linear, which doesn't always stay linear, as we know, in anything in life. So allot myself a little more time. It could be 6 months, it could be 10 months, but I know in due time that I will get to that $20,000 per month. And so let me give you guys a little background of where I'm at right now. So we'll check my sales for today. Today is July 17th, and you can see my sales right here. It's about 6 o'clock, and I've sold 7 items for $271 in sales. If you flip over to my orders, flip over to my orders, you can see all my sales in here for the day. And so, am I far from my goal? I definitely have my work cut out for me, but it's not an impossible task, and I know in due time I will be there. Alright guys, you've seen my sales for the day. You've heard my rant about the 4 things I'm doing to take my business to the next level and hit that $20,000 per month mark. Again, if you guys like this video, if you found it valuable, I'd love if you guys could drop a comment down below, show your support, and maybe give it a like and subscribe. That would be awesome. I'm going to see you guys in the next video. It's Sumner Healey signing off. Thank you, my people. Adios.